Bloomberg learned that Apple is preparing to expand manufacturing in Vietnam as part of its push into the smart home market. Some of these other stocks here, you're looking at Tianma Microelectronics. They're a low-cost LCD panel maker or supplier, and they could be part of this equation as well, rather than Apple's latest display technology. Apparently, these devices in Vietnam would use these lower-cost LCD panels supplied by Tianma. That's why we're looking at that. It's up about 0.1%. For more, let's bring in Bloomberg tech reporter Newly Purnell. So bring us up to date and up to speed on this story. Is this a seismic shift or just a part of a longer-term trend to diversify away from China?
Yeah, a great scoop by our colleague Mark Gurman. He's reported earlier that Apple's working on these 3 new devices for the home. The first time they've created a device like this, we've got a security camera, a home hub, and a tabletop robot. And interestingly, he's reporting we're going to make them all in Vietnam. This would be the first time that they have made a new product in a new category outside of China. Usually they make them first in China and then they expand operations to other countries. And interestingly, a partner, BYD, of course, the Chinese EV maker. I think it really underscores the importance of Vietnam. Apple has already been making other products there. But of course, it is part of this larger strategy, yes, to shift their production for geopolitical risk, for supply chain issues, tariffs away from China to other countries, India notably, Vietnam, Malaysia. But interesting here, details on these products being made in Vietnam and with BYD.
Do we expect the trend to continue?
I think so, and I think that it makes sense. Of course, these new products wouldn't be immune as the current regime stands from tariffs. They'd still be hit with tariffs. I think it's also really interesting to look at the bigger picture for Apple. You know, they really would love to ignite new investor and consumer enthusiasm in their products. You know, they've faced some very high-profile challenges when it comes to getting on the AI bandwagon with Apple Intelligence and other services. People have been wondering how are they going to incorporate some of these new technologies into their products. These would be the first time, as I said, first time making these new kinds of products. And can it bring some of their mojo back? Can it reignite consumers? Of course, they have the new iPhone, but they face challenges all over the world for smartphones. But can they get into these exciting new products, and what will consumers' reactions to that be? So high-profile new launches.
Yeah, one of the 3 devices there is, Steve was pointing out earlier, an advanced tabletop robot
with an arm, with a retractable arm.
Right.
What's it supposed to do?
So I think
grab your food.
So I think the idea is, if you think of like the home hub. So if you think maybe like a 7-inch by 7-inch display, the idea is it could be on this articulated arm that could sort of follow you on. So you could do a FaceTime call, or you could use it maybe to control, home appliances, perhaps play music, movies, that sort of thing. So yeah. Try not to think of it in a dystopian way, I think Apple would suggest.
I think of everything in a dystopian way.
The wrong person to talk about. There we go. Newly Purnell there, putting some ideas in her head. Our tech reporter.